In this case, though, I think it's very clear what's happening. The public just loves the Kings right now. And they've been like hyped up as, everyone's favorite team this year. It's not just the winning streak, like it's a very publicized winning streak. They're the new Utah Jazz. Memphis is projected as the favorite, despite not having Morant and Bane, because they still have good backups, and Jaren Jackson being healthy is very important for them. It's still a decent team. They're worse than the Kings, but they have home court. Like, they should be small favorites. So here's the thing, though. The reason this game is so interesting to me, we don't have Ja Morant officially ruled out yet. Morant hurt his ankle the other night, and they said week to week was the update. And then we found out yesterday he's doubtful for this game. And that we talked about this last week. Going from out to doubtful is much more relevant in terms of the chances of a player playing than questionable to doubtful.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, we just got Morant upgraded to questionable. Here we go.
No, there we go. All right, so
I think he's playing. The current line, where Denver is -5.5, is pretty close to fair if no one who is on the injury report plays for the Nuggets. But Jokic has now missed 3 games in a row for health and safety protocols. Each of those, at least the last 2, he was just listed out right off the bat. Like, there was no progression of doubtful to out because he was in health and safety protocols. He is listed doubtful for this one, and that is different than what we've had before. And with health and safety protocols, what we're talking about, like, this is now, I never thought this was going to be a thing in NBA betting, but he's not hurt. Like, he just needs to test negative to the point where he's allowed to play. This has happened repeatedly, where a guy in protocols, if he gets a positive indicator like, oh, he might have tested negative, you can see the line start to move quickly, where it's at least a very strong indication he'll play. I don't know how quickly the odds move every time, but Jokic is the most important player in the whole NBA. His backup is DeAndre Jordan now, who we already mentioned. Like, this is one of the best spots of the year if Jokic ends up playing.
Prediction of those guys coming off was correct. Just obviously didn't pan out.
I feel for anyone whose introduction to betting was yesterday. It can be very discouraging to basically spend like 10 hours doing something that then loses you, like, I mean, to put context on it, instead of just actual dollar figures, my Grizzlies bet was 3 times my Sixers bet, and my Nuggets bet was double my Grizzlies bet in terms of dollar amounts. It's just like, it was played so well. We had a hunch on information of star players who the market was not expecting to be on the court. We had a hunch that they actually were going to be playing. Like, again, if you watched any of Denver last night, DeAndre Jordan is the worst basketball player I've ever seen, at least this version of him. He can't even grab a rebound, and that's the only thing he's allegedly good at, and he can't even do that. The market thought he was the starting center, and Nikola Jokic, who is the best player in the world, or at least in the top 3, you can argue whatever, ended up being available instead, and we knew that. And no one else knew that, including the odds makers. So, like, that is a very, very, that's the most powerful form of closing line value that exists. We had information on, I mean, imagine if, like, we found out today that Toronto Raptors are going to have Jokic start at center for them. Just out of nowhere, he's just going to play for them. Like, it was almost like that. So, the results were horrible, but, like, this is a very reliable, like, long-term, or in even short term, should be very successful way of doing things if we can beat information with that much reliability.
We are absolutely